What is up, you guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. Today's video is all about how I edit my iPhone photos. I did make a video similar to this a few months ago on how I edit my Instagram photos, but since then the way I edit has changed significantly. I'll have that video linked down in the description box below in case you want to check it out or haven't seen it yet, but that one is all about editing raw photos in Lightroom with presets, and this one is all about iPhone photos. So back in June, I decided to switch things up and shoot on an iPhone instead of a DSLR camera like I typically would, and I can honestly say that I love it. I can't remember if I said obviously say or honestly say. If I said obviously say, I meant honestly say. Yeah, I can honestly say that I love it, and obviously with anything new there is a learning curve and lots of trial and error, but since June I feel like I've kind of picked up a way that I like to edit my photos, and it's finally time to share it with you guys. Also, if you end up using any of these tips or tricks in the video, I thought it would be fun to start a little hashtag called Edit Like Siri, where you guys can tag your photos and I can see them, and I would love to share them on my Instagram. Also, before we get started, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button. I post new videos every week, and let's just go on and get into the video. Okay guys, so when I'm editing a photo, the first app that I like to open up is Visco or VSCO, however you want to say it, and I will just import the photo that I'm gonna edit. For this video, I've already imported a few that I'm gonna edit with you guys, so I'm just gonna jump in and start with this photo right here. And then the first thing I like to do is go and adjust the tone of the photo, and what I'll do is I'll bring the highlights down to about +1, and then the shadows to 1.5, and then hit save. And then from there, there's one other thing that I do, and which is apply a preset or a filter. And this is a filter that has been my favorite for years. It's my favorite for, I don't know, it's such a good universal preset for everybody. I love the blues in it and I love the skin tones in it. And that's M5. And then I'll just bring the intensity down to about +2.5. Because like I said, I prefer personally a more natural edit, so I don't want to do anything that looks too edited. But here's a quick little before and after, and then I'll just save that to my camera roll and open up Lightroom. Now, if you guys do not have the Lightroom mobile app, go download it right now because it's free and it's magic. So this is the photo in the Lightroom app, and the first thing I'm gonna do is go and bring down the whites to about -20. And then I'm gonna go into the color tab, over to the color wheel, and there's a few colors that I like to adjust in every photo. The first one I usually adjust is the reds, but I'm gonna skip that one because that's when I would adjust if my lips were in a photo and I wanted to bring more color to my lips, but since they're not, we're gonna skip that color and go to orange. Then with orange, what I wanna do is bring down the luminance just to bring a little more color into my skin. You don't wanna go too crazy, but I'm just gonna bring it down to -20. I normally wouldn't bring it down this far, but because I feel like the lighting in the photo had already kind of washed out the color in my skin, I wanna bring that back. So I'll just hit, well, I guess I didn't have to hit done. There's more colors to do. The next color I adjust is yellows, and what I like to do with yellows is bring down the saturation just a little bit. And for this photo, I'll just bring it down to -5. If you guys have blonde hair, this is a great little hack. If you're ever feeling like your hair is looking orange or too brassy in a photo, just bring the yellow saturation down, and you can even bring the luminance up if you want to give your hair that extra pop. But for this photo, my hair is shiny enough, so I'm just gonna leave it. And then the last color I adjust is the blues, and I like to bring the saturation down just a little bit to about -10. And there's a quick little before and after, and I will just save that to my camera roll. Now, typically what I'll do in a photo is open up the photo that I just edited in Facetune. I don't like to get too crazy in this app, but I do feel like there's some really good tools that help make your photo that much better. And what I do is, I guess it's already imported, I go to the retouch and smooth, and then I'll zoom into where my skin is in the photo and just kind of brush over it. For this photo, it really isn't that big of a deal, but if there's one where I'm like wearing shorts or my arms, I feel like it looks a lot better just to smooth out the texture a little bit. And I'll bring the intensity down to about 70 or 75 and hit done and save. Because I added that onto the photo, I like to save the grain for last. So I go back into Visco, open up the photo, and bring the grain up. Not too much, but I like to bring it to about 1.8 and then hit save. And that's the photo. And that's about all I do to edit my photos. So let's move into the next one. I'll show you guys another example. And we're gonna go through kind of the same process with the highlights and the shadows. I'm gonna bring it up to +1 and 1.5. Then over to my filter, M5. And for this one, I'm gonna bring it up to 3. So there's a quick little before and after. As you guys can see, it takes out a lot of punch. I don't know, is that the word? I feel like the photo before is really contrasted and punchy, and I like to bring that down. So here's what we're working with now, and we'll save that to the camera roll. Then go into Lightroom and import the photo. Then from there, I'll bring the whites down a little bit. We'll do -15. And then I'm gonna go right into the oranges and bring the luminance down to about -10. And then, oh no, my phone's about to die. Oh my goodness, my phone is going crazy. And then let's bring the pinks up just a little bit to +5 and the blues down to -10. And there's a little before and after. Save it to my camera roll. Then same thing, open up Facetune and go in and retouch the skin with the smooth tool. And I feel like it's more to smooth out the pixels in the image than your skin itself. And bring it down to 75. Hit save. Then go back in to Visco and add the grain. We'll do 1.8 again. And that's the finished photo. As you guys can see, there's kind of like a recipe that I follow for every single photo. Obviously it varies, some occasions where lighting is different and things like that, but for the most part I do the same thing where I bring the highlights and the shadows down, then I go in, apply the filter to about 2.5 or 3, and then obviously bring the whites down in Lightroom, adjust the colors, add grain, and that's about it. So I'll edit one more photo with you guys, and we'll do this one right here. Bringing up the highlights to +1, shadows to 1.5, then go to M5, and then I'll bring it down to 2.5 and hit save. Then import it to Lightroom. And for this one, I'm not gonna, I guess I can bring the whites down a little bit. We'll do -13. And then with the skin tones again, we're gonna bring that down to about -10. And then, let's see, I'm gonna leave the yellows alone. Maybe bring up the luminance a little bit. As you guys can see, it kind of brightens the yellows and the tans. So let's bring that up to 0.6. And then the blues down to -10. And then I'll go in and straighten it. And then obviously, I didn't include this in the other ones, but obviously crop it to size. So for the Instagram ratio, 4:5 or 8:10, and then hit save. safety camera roll. And then I would just follow the same steps in smoothing out the skin and adding the grain. And that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful and informative. If you guys do end up using any of these editing tricks or hacks, I would love to see your photos. So either tag me in them so I can see them, or use the hashtag #EditLikeCere. I'd love to share them on my Instagram. Also, if you guys have any editing questions, feel free to ask them in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.